Sisters and brothers, now to my message. Besides the term Happy Labor Day, today is also our New Year's Day. So Happy New Year's. It's a time to reflect and celebrate the 12 months that just passed of challenges and victories, and resolve to have a prosperous and progressive new year. So let's look at the last 12 months. A couple hits by our friends at City Council as they spearheaded the low-wage economy by outsourcing jobs and catering to Uber. Certainly our motivation for the next municipal election. Let's talk about the good highlights. Our Essex librarians are back to work. Absolutely, and more important, or as importantly, dozens of union workers have become emboldened. They're telling management, this is what the collective agreement says, see you later, I'm going. Secondly, huge Detroit 3 auto deal, $1.6 billion invested in Canada. Thank you, brothers. Thank you for leadership and rank and file. And finally, a comprehensive ban on asbestos in Canada. Years of determined advocacy by survivors. Yes, a lot of spouses and kids have survived losing their parents. Unions, health and safety activists by the late and awesome man, Rolly Meritic. Congratulations, people, on winning that fight. Now, what's in store for us this year? We can set the course. We can say what's going to happen this year. I'm going to propose a couple New Year's resolutions. I'm going to give you one personal one for me. As Labour Council President, I resolved to knock on the doors of all locals and analyze to see how we can create an even better synergy for a greater solidarity and a greater community. Second resolution is for all of us and the sisters and brothers that couldn't make it. Be it resolved that we all give at least 10 more hours to our community. It's our community. I know people are stretched with work and family, but it's a worthy resolution and attainable. My 83-year-old mother is here today. She's ready to give more hours. I think I've convinced her personally she's going to be working on your campaign also. Let's use Rolly. Let's use Rolly as a model. As Gary Parent wrote recently in The Guardian, Rolly always said you could make a difference in people's lives. So Gary wrote, let's recommit to follow in Rolly's footsteps. And this year more than ever, following in his footsteps is a challenge. Besides our usual workplace issues, we have challenges at all three levels of government. Ask our politicians here. Provincial level, we heard about the labor law changes. Let's give one more push. Go see Kerr, let's give it one more push. Thank you, NDP, for also pushing. In broad strokes, we always hear about the wage, but in broad strokes, if it's easier to become a unionized member, we're going to be better off in this province, so let's push that one for sure. And for Lisa and Taraz and Percy and Andrea and the rest of the gang and other MPPs that will be elected in a few more months, the provincial election is around the corner, June 7th. We need to gear up for that. On the federal front, we got rid of Harper. And I think we got rid of a guy named Jeff Watson. I think he sent him over where Harper lives. That's awesome, absolutely. Now we've got a prettier and a nicer speaking Prime Minister. But ask our MPs about real change. Election reform, reneged. Ask Phil. What about postal delivery? Is he going to renege on that? Environment. It's easy to look good. And by the way, his record is terrible. But he looks good because of the guy across the water. We've talked about the trade, and is there an auto plan? Is there a manufacturing plan? What is Saudi Arabia doing with our arms that we sold them? Okay? Listen. He looks good, but we're not going to give him a free pass because he can do big fancy yoga moves, all right?